Hey, what is up, y'all? It's your girl Danielle, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the 2025 Guide to Glowing Up by simply getting back to the basics. If you are new here, welcome. I am Danielle Price. I am a personal development coach. I am a speaker and an author, and I help women and I teach women how to prioritize their mental and emotional well-being so that they can create a life that they love. And y'all, today we're going to be talking about relationships, honey, because we cannot go into 2025 carrying the same baggage and sometimes poor habits and poor decision making skills that we had in 2024. Okay, I heard somebody say you spoke to some people in 2024 who didn't even deserve a hello. Okay, and it's the truth. It's the truth sometimes because, if I say this all the time, if you are on my channel, you are a genuine person. You genuinely want to learn, grow, glow, help other people. You love with your full whole heart. And, sometimes our big heart gets us in trouble because we are giving so much of ourselves to other people that we sometimes stop and forget about our own wants and our own needs. One thing that I realize about relationships is that when we are younger, we are taught so much so to think about everybody else. Well, think about what you're doing and how it makes this person feel. And think about, how, you setting that boundary is making that person feel. And, I believe that we should definitely take other people into consideration, but not so much so to where we are now ignoring our own wants, needs, and desires. And unfortunately, especially for us women, and I imagine men too, but, this is a channel for women. So, we tend to accept less in our friendships and our relationships. We tend to let people walk all over us. And all the while, we are stressing ourselves and burning ourselves out to try to be there for everybody. And so today, I really want to focus on mental and emotional strategies because honestly, we cannot control anybody outside of ourselves. We can only control what we do, what we allow to happen. And, we have to also understand that we are in control. One of the things that I learned this towards the end of 2024 is the fact that I don't have to wait for something bad to happen to decide a relationship is no longer for me. I don't have to wait for something bad to happen or for there to be a blow up or a massive breakup or for somebody else to decide whether they do or do not want me. For me to have the autonomy to make the decision for myself. And I know it sounds so simple, right? But it was like a light bulb went off when I realized I don't have to wait for him to make a decision. And yes, I'm talking about a man right now. I don't have to wait for him to get it together. I can decide I don't like this and I can just leave. What? Now, I will tell you, getting a little personal, the main reason why I didn't think that I had a choice is because I have been surrounded by a lot of toxicity in my life. And when that is your root and your foundation and the expression of love that you're used to, you kind of subconsciously you sign over your rights away to make a decision to leave, right? Because some of these relationships were relationships I couldn't just get away from. I mean, they were family. Very close family. And so when your norm is toxicity and, people pleasing and allowing others to do whatever they want and ignoring your own wants, needs, and desires, if your norm and expression of love is abuse and manipulation, you just become used to it. You become almost like immune to it. And I'm here to tell you that that is not right. I don't care what your mama and your daddy did. I don't care what you were raised on. You do not deserve to suffer in silence. You do not deserve to keep pushing for relationships that just simply aren't working. You don't deserve to be chasing after people who don't even consider you. You don't deserve to put yourself on the back burner for people who wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire. You don't deserve to be talked down on, to feel bad about yourself, to put your goals on the back burner. You do not deserve that. You don't. And I don't care who has told you to just suffer through it, baby. No. And what I will say before I move on is that These are the times when if you are resonating with what I'm saying, I want you to pause this video and I want you to pray. I want you to ask God to open your eyes and open your own heart, because I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what the situation is with your relationship, because God can save some relationships, right? I have seen that firsthand, where the more that I grow, the more the other person grows, and so on and so forth, and things get better. But there are also other times where the Lord has so clearly told me to let someone go after warring and praying and crying and, fasting and praying. God's sitting there like, all this drama for somebody that don't even really like you for real. You want me to save something that's slowly causing you to die internally every day. And I don't mean die to your flesh. I mean, a piece of you is chipped away every single day. And so I think a little bit differently when it comes to relationships, right? Because I oftentimes hear, just stick it out, just show people grace, show people mercy, and show the love of God. And sometimes God ain't telling you to do none of that. Sometimes you being in a relationship with someone, whether it's a friendship or a marriage or whatever, you're being disobedient and calling it God. I've been there. I've been there. And like I said, we cannot control what everybody else does. The only thing that we can do is we can control ourselves. And so until you know for sure that this relationship is supposed to stay or to go, my hope today is to give you a better strategies to prioritize your own well-being, to reduce stress, and to better manage your expectations. So that's where we're going to start first. We're going to start with managing your expectations of others. If you have people in your life who have shown you that they are a certain kind of way, don't expect them to be any different. If you have somebody in your life who you feel should be living up to a certain standard and they keep falling short, stop expecting them to meet that standard. Something else, a revelation that really helped me was understanding that people are people. I'll give my mom as an example. I love my mother, but we have had a rocky relationship and we are just now in a place where I feel like both of us have matured quite significantly. So thank the Lord for that. But it took me a long time to realize that she wasn't just my mom, that she was also a woman, that she has a life outside of me, that she has wants, needs, and desires in her life that she wants. There are things that have shaped her to be the woman that she is. There are things that have shaped her to be the mom that she is. So how unfair of me is it to expect her to be some type of way when she just might not have the capacity to be that way? Same thing with my dad. My dad's a certain kind of way, and he has always been that way. And there are times where, yes, you do have to, just kind of give people grace and mercy and love. And there are other times where you have to ask yourself, can I deal with this? Is this healthy for me? How is this affecting my ability to show up for myself? How is this affecting my ability to live a life that's well? Because yes, there are going to be relationships in your life that you're not meant to walk away from that are going to be difficult. But there are also relationships in your life that are difficult because you're still around. I actually also got this revelation that sometimes it's not rejection. Sometimes what looks like rejection, and help me, Holy Spirit, say this how you gave it to me. Sometimes it's not rejection. Sometimes what looks like rejection is there is a spirit or a demon on somebody else that cannot get on you. And because it can't attach itself to you, that person rejects you. And then it triggers something else inside of you that sometimes will hold up and will cling and will try to stay close to that person. And the whole time they're like, pushing us away or making us feel less than. And the whole time, God's like, if only you would let go. If only you would let go so that I can finally move. This relationship is blocking you. So I say that to say, manage your expectations of people until the Lord has told you to move and not move and, fight and war. Just make sure you seek the Lord, okay? Because I hear too oftentimes, especially from the pulpit, you talking about suffering in marriage. Excuse me? As someone who has been married and has been in an abusive relationship before, we have to be very careful about the counsel that we accept for ourselves, right? Because not all counsel is for us, right? Not all words are for us. It took me a long time to figure that out too. Not everything is for me, okay? And so as you are navigating your relationships, we go back to the original point, manage your expectations of people. Okay, if they've shown you that they are unsupportive, stop expecting them to support you. If they've shown you that all they do is cause you stress, stop expecting them to bring you peace. They are who they are. Nothing that you say, do, or anything like that may change them. And so if you are going to exist in that relationship, if you are going to be a part of that person's life and allow them to be a part of your life, you have to manage your expectations and believe them when they show you who they are. Okay? Now, I want to talk a little bit about how do you know when a relationship is unhealthy, right? Because like I said, we ain't supposed to suffer all the time. You can't convince me that the Lord loves me so much that he would want me to suffer all the time. No. Sometimes, we're, like I said, sometimes we're holding on out of disobedience, and we have to recognize the real. Okay. So I have some notes. So if I'm looking away or if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. But you will know if a relationship is unhealthy is if it triggers poor mental health. If it makes you feel super stressed out, if you're ruminating, you don't feel seen, you don't feel heard, there's a lack of reciprocity, they're gaslighting you, they're manipulating you, you feel like they don't value you, you feel like you are suffering and that you are being abused. And now let me define abuse, okay? Because we have covert, we have passive aggressive, we have aggressive, there's a lot of different things that can sometimes, we just kind of let things go, right? But abuse is the cruel and unusual treatment, mistreatment, okay? And ask yourself, would I treat someone like this? I'll even say, would a sane person who is within their right mind, would a person who loves me treat me this way? If the answer is no, it's unhealthy. If you find yourself being stressed out, burned out, feeling low, feeling undervalued, feeling unseen, that relationship might just be unhealthy. And that's what I say, you gotta get into prayer. Especially if it's somebody that's close, especially if it's a marriage or if it's a relationship. And then, try to do what you can in order to make that relationship work. But baby, it takes two to tango. Okay? It takes two to tango. And you deserve to be loved and adored. I cannot stress that enough for women, that you deserve to be loved and adored. You deserve to be doted on. You deserve to be treated like a queen and a princess. Like, you deserve to be soft and feminine and free and, loved appropriately. Like, you deserve that. You deserve that. And my goal is to always make women realize how much they are worth, how valuable they are, right? And so if you have somebody toxic that's in your life, you really need to ask yourself, is this good for me? Is this person good for me? If they're going to stay in my life, in what capacity am I going to allow them to stay in my life? Because I'm telling you, toxic people, and I'm not saying that we as genuine people, I'm not saying that you don't have any of your own toxic traits. I used to be very clingy. I was clingy and demanding. And I was very selfish sometimes. I'm like, how dare you not want to spend time with me after you done finished working 2 jobs? What you mean? But there was something that was triggering that. It was an insecurity that this person was causing in me. And so the relationship was not bringing out the best in me. So if you have a relationship in your life that's not bringing out the best in you, you might want to examine that relationship. So next is, how do we know if a relationship is healthy? One, it inspires you to be better. It aligns with your future goals. It promotes good character, and it considers your needs, wants, and desires. You feel seen, you feel heard, you feel beautiful. You may not always feel the best around this person, but you know that when you go to that person that y'all are locked in, you feel supported. You also are able to establish healthy boundaries. It doesn't deter you from your goals. It doesn't trigger unnecessary suffering and mental anguish in your life. It doesn't make you feel afraid to address something. You have healthy conflict resolution where you can come to that person and say, hey, this is an issue that I'm having. Can we talk about this? And they may not get it right. But I will tell you one thing. I would rather come and talk to you about something and we have a good, calm, constructive conversation than for me to come to you and say, hey, I'm having this problem. And you like, I'm not trying to hear that. Because I've had plenty of people in my life who are like that. And I'll even say this, and I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I wanna make sure I give you all everything that has been downloaded into me. Sometimes we have subconscious beliefs that we will take into other relationships. And so when you can identify that about yourself and you know that you are now in the process of building healthier relationships, excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. You have to really learn to slow yourself down, especially when you feel like you're triggered or you feel like you want to say something or you want to run. Like, you really have to slow yourself down and ask myself, why do I feel this way? Where is this coming from? Is this reminding me of something? Has this person made me feel unsafe before? If so, in what way? How does this remind me of something that I experienced in my past? Is there anything that I'm doing to cause myself to feel this way? Am I causing tension and friction in this relationship? Am I a part of the problem? Is there something that I can do mentally and emotionally to make sure that this relationship works? And until you have exhausted all resources, honey, especially in a healthy relationship, you should just slow yourself down. Okay, slow yourself down. Because I tell you, as somebody who used to be willing to walk away, I'd walk away in a heartbeat. Oh. Because I spent so much of my life trying to make things work with people and trying to be somebody's friend who clearly didn't like me, who would talk so much crap about me behind my back and treat me like garbage, always make me feel excluded. And, and so I would cling. I used to cling to those type of people. So then eventually I was like, well, you gonna catch me now. Now you see me, now you don't. I'm out. But now that I'm working on becoming more secure in my relationships, I am learning that I have to slow down and really begin to examine my relationships, because if I don't slow down, I'll run away in a heartbeat. I'll run away in a heartbeat. But a few more things that I want to talk about is that how do you know that a relationship is healthy? Let's go a little bit deeper, right? You feel comfortable setting boundaries for yourself. And sometimes your boundaries go without saying, right? And also, as you are navigating your relationships, you don't just set boundaries with other people. You need to set boundaries with yourself, okay? Because like I said, if you're a genuine person and you are a giver, honey, if you are not careful, you will burn yourself out. And on top of it, you will enable poor behavior in other people if you are not careful with how much you are willing to help, right? And so as you're navigating your relationships, you really have to begin to focus on what you need and what you want, what you can and cannot do, what you are and are not willing to do. Okay? That goes into like managing expectations of yourself. Okay. Setting boundaries for yourself and managing your expectations of yourself. Also, you will know that a relationship is healthy when you are willing to say no without an explanation. No is a complete sentence, period. And you need to let go of anybody who makes you feel bad for saying no. Because let me tell you something. I tell you, all my friends know I'm a big advocate for children. Okay, I'm a huge advocate for children. I love children, and they're just little people, right? And so anytime I go to give them a hug and they say no, I say, okay, you tell Auntie Danielle no. You tell Miss Danielle no. Why? Because it's their body. They're a person. They have the right to tell me, no, I don't want no hug. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. And they don't owe me no explanation. I know if you are from my generation, which is the millennials, and maybe even older, when somebody said, come give me a hug, they would force you to give them a hug, whether you want to give them a hug or not. And again, that just teaches people that their wants, needs, and desires don't matter. And I never want anybody else to feel like that. So be willing to say no without an explanation. And you have to give people an opportunity to, again, show you who they are and whether or not they value who you are. And then the very last thing that I want to talk about is that you need to let go of anything and anyone who does not bring you joy, happiness, and personal fulfillment. Yes, happiness is fleeting, but joy is not. Okay? And don't talk yourself into suffering. Please. Don't talk yourself into suffering long term. All right? Suffering ain't supposed to last all the time. Okay? You're supposed to have some sunshine. Okay? You're supposed to have some sunshine. And so, again, as you're navigating your relationships, really slow yourself down and start asking yourself some questions. Stop trying to talk to everybody outside of yourself, okay? You can't control how other people act. You can't control what other people do. The only thing that you can do is control yourself. Okay, so focus in on your wants, needs, and desires and ask yourself, is this in alignment with who I am? Is this in alignment with what it is that I need? What do I need? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you are looking to go higher and to grow and glow, you need to pick up my workbook. It's called Becoming Hurricane, Reclaim Your Best Self and Never Lose Her Again. It is a 5-step process that I created. It talks about getting to the truth of the matter. Where are you in your life and why? It teaches you how to prioritize your health and well-being. That includes your emotional, mental, physical, spiritual health, and everything in between. It talks about when was the last time you went to the doctor, how is your period? Is there anything that you are concerned about? Because, sometimes we don't ask ourselves these questions, okay? The third step is creating the dream life, creating a vision for your life. There's a quick visualization exercise in there for you. Also, the next one is rediscovering your essence, your je ne sais quoi, what makes you, what makes you tick, and how to get some joy and happiness and personal fulfillment back into your life. And then, of course, one of my favorites is called Building Healthy Habits, Building Better Habits. Because in order to be the woman that God created you to be, you need to create habits that sustain the woman that you want to become, that you were always destined to be. So you can look at the link. The link is going to be in the description bar. Trust me, it's an interactive workbook with I think it's about 40 or 50 journal prompts and self-reflection exercises that will help you get your desired end result. Listen, 2025 can really and truly be your year. But it is going to cause you to have to make some tough decisions. And you have to be willing to make those tough decisions sometimes, whether it's to stay, to go, to, bump somebody down, or bump somebody up, or go by yourself. Let me say something. One thing I love about being willing to walk away from relationships is that you're telling yourself that what you need matters. And so oftentimes we focus so heavily on everybody else and, well, it will hurt them. And what are they going to do? Them people will live, okay? Them people will live. They'll live if you tell them no. They'll live if you don't give them money. They'll live. They'll live. They'll live, I assure you. So I hope this was helpful. Again, make sure that y'all are prioritizing yourselves. What you want and need matters. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You know you want to. Make sure you share with a beautiful woman in your life. I have so many new events that are coming up, and I'm really, really excited. If you are in the 757 area, make sure that you are on my make sure you're on my email list. Make sure on my email list anyways. And of course, make sure that y'all are following me on Instagram at Pretty Brian Poppin. Again, I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Until next time, peace.